Oh. Good morning.
Morning.
Very sunburnt Olivia Galliano. It's the morning of day
5, 6, 7, 8.
Friday the 12th. Today is, well, tomorrow morning summit day, but tonight we set off.
Today we walk to base camp.
Today we walk about 2.5 to 3 hours to Barafu camp.
Can you get me in this vlog?
Which is about 4,600 metres.
Which we've already walked to.
Yes,
so
it's where we stopped for lunch.
we're acclimatised as hell.
Saying that, I'm out of breath just speaking. I think it's quite a short walk. I've already said it's 2.5 hours, 3 hours. And then the rest of the day. Yeah, cool. Thank you, Olivia. The rest of the day to relax like yesterday.
I had a real relax yesterday. I finished my book. I lay in the tent for a while. Went to bed about 7:15.
Both had solid sleeps.
10 hours, I reckon I had.
I had about 8.
Feeling good.
And slept the way through.
Not looking good, but feeling good.
That's the morning update. I think we're setting off about 8 o'clock, so we've got an hour. Lunch in half an hour. Lunch? I think I've actually got altitude sickness. Breakfast in half an hour. Look at all the cans.
There's a can. And there's a can. And there's a can.
And here we are, coming up to Barafu camp. And it's 11:10. Okay, it turns out we weren't too close to our camp.
Still can't see our tents, you could say.
About half an hour later. But it just means we're camping quite high. So we don't have
so
to
there's the actual path. Okay.
climb just to get out of the camp in the morning.
So that's the front path.
Anton, your poles are in front of my face.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
And there we go. Here's camp for summit night. Checking in with you from Barafu camp at about 4,900 meters. In the background you can maybe see the summit / glacier. Today's walk was fairly short but deceivingly hard. There was a point where we were walking up the hill and there were a set of tents that we could see. The camp was, well, the tents we could see were the camp, and as soon as we got to the crest of the hill, it was then probably another hour hour 15 uphill. I mean, here's me complaining that it's uphill. We're climbing a mountain. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. It's 25 past 12 now, so we're just going to chill out at camp. I think the plan is probably to have an early supper at like 5, 6, and then just try and get as much sleep as we can, because we'll either leave at around 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, aiming to get up to the summit for 6, 7 o'clock, but we'll see what happens. We're due to have a chat with the guys later and see what time we want to start. But this is our camp. Olivia's just sorting out all her stuff in there.
Hello.
We've got Francis's tent, Jason and Neil's tent, our kitchen tent, the guide's kitchen tent, and that's about it, really. Incredible views yet again. It's just gone 7 o'clock
And it's bedtime.
and we're getting into bed, due to have our tents shaken at 11 o'clock to be in the mess tent for 11:30, to have some popcorn, some biscuits and tea, fill up our thermos,
Thermi.
and then head off for the summit. How are you feeling?
Good.
Small headaches.
Yeah, small headaches and getting a bit out of breath whenever we do anything at a normal pace.
Yeah.
You have to do everything very slowly, but we've acclimatised as much as we can. I think we've taken it easy, we've drunk enough, we've been taking our Diamox, paracetamol,
Taking lots of tablets.
loads of tablets, more tablets than
Rattling
ever.
as we get up and down from the tent.
I just did it.
I'm gonna try and keep everything warm. I'm gonna take this whole rig up with me
And some hand warmers.
and some hand warmers and the camera. Fingers crossed we can get some footage. If not, it's not the end of the world. But we'll see.
We're nearly there.
The next clips you'll see will probably be
Pitch black.
pitch black with our head torches on, and then hopefully a nice sunrise. Stella Point. A couple of 100 metres left to Uhuru.
Fucking knackered, mate.
Right. How far away?
15 minutes.
15 minutes from the top. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit tired, a little bit cold.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but that's alright. It's character building, isn't it?
Doing it. We did it!
Can't really believe it.
I'm actually too exhausted to speak. Absolute hellhole. Bloody hell. Without a doubt, the hardest thing I've ever done.
Congratulations, sister.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Yes, well done. Bro, yeah. That was emotional.
Good job.
Bloody hell.
Raw footage going to raw, sobbing from the roof of Africa. That was the hardest thing I have ever done in my entire life. But we did it together. A couple of hairy moments.
Oh, we did it. We did it.
Woo! You!
Okay.
Hi.
The vlog is on.
9 hours later,
Woo!
and we're back at camp. Just as we thought the
Tom's so tired. Tom's so tired. He hasn't got anything to say.
just as we thought the hard work was done, summiting, it was then 2.5 hours of
We did one.
scree surfing, which definitely takes its toll on your knees. We're going to head back to camp, and then I think the plan is to sleep for an hour and a half and then have some breakfast and move down to a much lower camp and get our breath back, get rid of the headaches, get rid of the diamox, and just enjoy the last couple of days. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Reporting to you from the same room we were in this time last week. I think the last clip you would have seen was us after descending, and we were heading into camp ready for an hour and a half rest and then breakfast. Between that point and this morning, so that was yesterday morning, I was in a bit of a state. I think
Tom was in a bad way.
we were all
He was not well.
we were all, I was a bit unwell, and everyone was very exhausted.
There wasn't much conversation yesterday.
I didn't want to pick up the camera at all. We went into camp, had an hour and a half of rest, which we didn't really rest.
That was not rest. By the time I'd washed my face, it was basically time to go.
And then we had lunch,
At 11 a.m.
which I don't know if anyone ate.
No, mate.
And then we proceeded to descend into
The path of hell. The pathway to hell.
Mweka camp, which was a 4-hour walk along the most uneven track. And descending is brutal for your knees, your hips, your glutes. So we got into camp last night, completely exhausted. I think we got in there
It's
about...
a lovely camp though. It was
Lovely camp.
Nicest camp yet.
Yeah, I'll put some footage in now of the camp. We got into the camp at about 3 or 4. We slept from about 3 or 4 till 6, getting woken up for supper. No one really ate anything. We then went to sleep.
At 7.
At 7. Olivia got a full night's sleep, or more or less a full night's sleep.
Yeah.
I woke up every couple of hours, and then we left the camp this morning at about 7:15 through completely different scenery.
Yeah, it was like rainforest, wasn't it?
And then we got to Mweka Gate at about 10?
No, so it was 2.5 hours from 7:15 to 10:45, 11 o'clock.
At 10:45, 11 o'clock, and then got the bus back here. So that's where we're up to. Olivia and I have just had showers, which has been lovely.
Sorted out all of our stuff, basically everything's in bin bags.
Just got our certificates, which I think I filmed, but I don't know if I
It's
did.
very weird. Okay, first certificate goes to Tom Galliano,
Oh!
age 26. Me! Woo!
We just paid $2 each to get our boots cleaned, and in the process of organising a coffee plantation waterfall tour for tomorrow. I can't remember how much I put in explaining our experiences of summiting
Summit night.
Kilimanjaro, because it was all a bit of a blur.
Start from the beginning.
We left at 12 o'clock, got told the first hour and a half was the hardest part, so we went in there thinking, okay, fine, get the first hour and a half out of the way, it's all going to be smooth sailing. First hour and a half was over.
It was actually all right. The first hour and a half, I found I was doing it, and I was like, it was basically climbing up these sort of 45-degree angle slate rocks, which sounds awful, but there were lots of places to put your feet, and there were so many people around. You went so slowly, so I was like, oh, this is the hard bit.
Yeah, and then we got onto more of like the loose gravel scree section, which was from the hour and a half mark to, it took us about 5.5 hours to summit.
Yeah,
About 6 hours, just over 6 hours to summit.
Yeah.
So from an hour and a half to 6 hours,
Yeah.
4.5 hours of
Hell.
Yeah.
We went to the depths that night.
There were times, honestly, times where I was thinking, okay, I'm just going to sit here and wait for everyone to summit and then to come back down, because altitude mixed with dodgy stomach mixed with cold temperature.
Oh, and just completely relentless. Like, Tom was telling me this thing where you just count 100 steps before you look up again, because otherwise you're just constantly looking at this huge mountain. But at one point I got to 1,000 steps and I looked up and it still looks like further away than before, and it's such a mental battle as well to keep going in the pitch black. You can't see what you're doing or where you are or anything.
No, so it's just putting one foot in front of the other and hoping that you eventually just get there. The fact that we got there just before the sunrise made all of that worthwhile. We were one of the first, I think it was within the first 3 groups out of, I think it was like, how many people were at the camp?
They said thousands.
I reckon about 500 to 1,000 people.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Well,
Because porters were
yeah, that's true.
Which was, like, from what the porters were saying, we did it quite quickly, unintentionally.
Yeah.
But we got there,
slow.
got there just before sunrise and stayed at the top for about, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
And then it was 2.5 hours of scree surfing, which
It's not fun.
And then 4 hours of descending on very rocky terrain. Awful for the legs, and they're definitely feeling it now. But that being said, completely incredible experience.
Yeah, it was amazing.
One that we definitely won't forget.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, well, we definitely won't do again.
Oh, do you want to do it again?
No. Tom was like, so what's our next adventure? I was like, more mountains. No, it was, I felt so proud of us for going through it and standing at the top there. You feel really humbled that you've been able to make it up there, and watching the sunrise. Oh, it's just it was beautiful. It's like a different world. So anyone watching that wants to do it, do it. Tips for a pro.
And then this evening we're just going to get pizza, birrios. And if we don't go to regardless of whether we go to the coffee tour, we're going to be changing hotels to one that's closer to the airport, because we then fly back on Tuesday morning, and it's Sunday evening right now.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Tom, nice to meet you.
Richard, nice to meet you.
So we made it to the coffee and the caves and the... Look quite cool. And the traditional bits and bobs.
And this area is the kitchen.
Kitchen?
Yes. Here is the for cooking.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank
So is this a coffee berry?
you. Yes.
Yeah.
Tembea pole pole,
Hakuna matata.
Kilimanjaro utafika,
Hakuna matata.
utafika na marangu,
Hakuna matata.
utaona na wageni.
Hakuna matata.
Look really good. Smells good.
Yes. Saga, saga,
Saga.
saga, saga,
Saga.
saga, coffee,
Saga.
saga, Arabica,
Saga.
saga, pole pole,
Saga.
Chicken.
England and Ireland.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
That's a treat.
Yeah, this is the biscuits.
I feel like I'm skiing.
We've now driven to Karranga waterfalls and we're just very precariously walking down to the waterfalls in our flip-flops.
On the rail back.
Everyone is staring.
Going for some pork with the boss man commander himself.
Thank you.
So good evening from the Panone or the Panoni Hotel in Arusha. Olivia and I and Jason and Neil just arrived from a day out. Our day of coffee making, looking at caves, swimming in waterfalls. As you saw in the previous clips, Olivia's just found her Malarone. She's just had a bit of a stress. But just coming in to wrap the video up. Not entirely sure whether it's going to be in one long video or 2, 3, 4 different parts. More likely the latter because I've recorded a lot of footage in the past week. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've enjoyed making it. Have you enjoyed making it, Olivia?
I was just looking at my lovely little top knot. Yes, it's been a lot of fun, and I loved our Kenya one, so this will hopefully also be a good reminder of an amazing trip.
So we'll see you in the next video, which should hopefully be our family holiday to Kefalonia on Sunday. So it's a quick turnaround, but it's goodbye from me and it's
goodbye from me.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Hakuna matata.
Kilimanjaro utafika,
Hakuna matata.
utafika na marangu,
Hakuna matata.
utaona na wageni.
Hakuna matata.